day.
Among this group, we're just happy when somebody has hair. So
Yeah.
yeah, for real.
Y'all need any? Hey.
So, what's this week been like for you? Obviously, I mean, it's not like you lacked attention or hype before that game, but given the performance, I assume you've gotten a little bit more attention and enthusiasm even than before. What's the reaction been like from people back home or people around campus, or what's it been like for you?
It's just been another week of preparation and focusing on Nevada and not really focusing on outside things that may bring clutter to the team.
Kenny said your phone was going off like crazy after the game Monday night. Been receiving a lot of calls from people.
Mainly family. My grandma, she was very excited after the game. My mom doesn't even text, and she sent me a long text message. So it was just love from most of my family members.
Anybody surprising reach out to you?
Yes, actually, Trent Differ had talked to me, and he's like another dad to me. So
That guy loves you, man.
strong family with that lead letter.
Did you watching back the film? Obviously, you had a really, really good game. Were there a couple things that you looked at and said, I could have done this better?
There's always things that when you watch film that you can see that you can do better. But as a team, from a team standpoint, we have so many places where we can grow. Like on my naked, I made a big mistake. I went the wrong way. So that's something that I gotta avoid those mental errors.
The first play of the second half you're talking about?
First play of the second half, yes.
Now, yeah, we were talking with Jimbo about that, and a lot of quarterbacks, especially young quarterbacks, might get kind of frazzled when they make a mistake like that. Like, oh, crap, I just went the wrong way. You seem to handle it kind of just turned around, oh, whatever, and just – is that something you've always kind of been able to do?
Well, I mean, I knew everyone – it's the trust. I knew everyone else would be in their right position, so I was like, hey, I can't panic. So just keep doing what I got to do. And Kennesaw was wide open. He made a good play for me.
Is that something you've always had during high school and Pee Wee? You always kind of had that presence when something went wrong. You kind of were calm and be able to know what was going on.
Well, most people don't like when things go wrong, but yeah, with the way that you got to carry yourself being a quarterback, is you can't panic. You don't have time to.
So it's kind of instinctive with you. It's not something you really learned.
Instinctive, yes, sir.
It's going to be special for you on Saturday to finally be able to play in front of people who want you to do well.
It's just going to be good, just being at home in this stadium, just playing on your home field. Like going away, sometimes it might be easier because you going against everyone's against you, and you have something to fight for. But now everyone's gonna be with you. The team's gonna be excited. The family gonna be here. So you can't have a little bit more pressure because these are the people that you're gonna be with. But I mean, it's gonna be so exciting out there, and it's gonna be hot.
Did recruiting prepare you for? I mean, you're getting obviously a lot of attention from a lot of different people right now, but you've had it for a few years going back to recruiting. Did that kind of help you think prepare for all this?
I believe it did. I believe it just helped me to grow because in the recruiting process, you ask any recruit, it's just so nagging. It's on you all the time, constantly. Everyone's asking you questions. But I mean, you have no choice. You can either go up, or you can make that fill your head, and you think that you're the big shot. But you're really not, because when you come to college the next year, you're going to be a freshman, and everybody's like, you're a freshman. So.
Well, how have you been able to keep that balance and not let it go to your head? A lot of kids, you've seen it around you do, and you haven't so far.
Well, that's what my teammates, Jordan had a lot of success. People know him, but he stays grounded. Kenny Shaw, his early years here, he was the big name on campus. Even with Willie Hofstad had a great year, and just when you see the players around you that have been through those things, you're like, man, I can't be the guy to be different from these guys. I got to stay grounded, and it's for the team.
So that with EJ too?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very much with EJ. Like, people wouldn't even think that he would be the number one pick, but, I mean, he stayed grounded. He was a quarterback at Florida State. When you're a quarterback of a big university, you're going to get that looks. All eyes are going to be on you, but when you stay grounded, that's when you gain respect from everybody.
Did you get to see any highlights from him on Sunday?
I watched my boy EJ.
Okay. I don't know if it was on or not.
Yeah, I actually, one of my friends had the little Sunday NFL thing.
Yeah.
And then I had my little sports center thing, and then I got the NFL app. So I was locked in on one dog EJ, I promise you.
Did you text him afterwards?
I did. I texted him. Told him great job. And then, he played against Tom Brady his first game. That's exciting.
Did he reach out to you after your game? I'm sure he saw you too.
Oh, of course. I mean, he actually wanted to be there, so I was like, man, I'm representing for you. I'm gonna hold it down for you, so don't worry about it.
So he reached you. You talked to him that night, or
Yeah, I talked to him that night.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's kind of. I know we asked a little bit about after the game, but like when you first pick up your phone when that game's over, like about how many messages were waiting for you?
I really don't remember.
In the hundreds?
I don't remember. It's probably was in the hundreds, but I was so happy that we won that game. So I was too busy like talking to everybody on the bus, and I was like, oh y'all remember that play? Oh y'all remember this? So I don't even worry about my phone because I think my phone froze up. It was that many messages, like my phone froze up. So I was like, I don't need my phone no more. Got the team.
You've had attention all through, even since before high school. How different is it, and how much more intense is it after that first game, and with everybody talking about you since you played Pittsburgh?
It's not different at all because it's like I said with the recruiting thing. Either you're gonna let it go to your head, or you're just gonna be that same person. And me, obviously, we're looking forward to Nevada week, so I'm focused on this. And I know for my team's sake, and I know for everybody just looking around this program, it's one game, so you gotta move on. You can't just live in the past.
You mentioned Nevada. Can you talk about what you've seen from them, watching them planning for them? What you've seen from Nevada's defense?
Nevada is huge. They are some big guys, and actually one player that stood out to me. He had a mullet playing DN. That was very exciting. He was like, wow. So but they have a tough defense. Obviously, the defense said their offense is very fancy, kind of like Clemson, Oregon type. So it's gonna be an exciting game. You never can look past anybody.
Talk about Rashad Greene and how he's helped you develop as a young quarterback. Seems like you have a lot of confidence targeting him.
Well, one thing about all my wide receivers, they're very hard on me. They will tell me what I did wrong in a heartbeat, and I try not to tell them what they did wrong, but just to keep the tension from going around. But Rashad, he's a great leader. He's a playmaker, and just having those guys around him and having the O-line to protect me to get him the ball, it makes it so much easier on the team to have guys like one play in the Pittsburgh game. He made a heck of a play, jumped up between two defenders. No one would have thought and then he's still on his feet and almost took it to the house. We got so many players that are electrifying and so many players that are different from other players in the country that help us have success here at Florida State.
I think you'll have maybe some more butterflies just because you're at home coming out of that tunnel for the first game than you did up at Pitt.
No, I don't. You have about the same amount of butterflies every game. It's either you're going to be nervous. When you get nervous, that's when you start to panic, and that's when stuff goes bad. But butterflies, I'm going to have the same amount of butterflies because it's going to be another game. But I feel that we are very prepared. So probably just being home, I'll probably be more comfortable than being away because we got everybody supporting. And then I think at home, our players even get more pumped up. Like at Pitt, you could tell we was like, me and Pitt, sometimes it was our first time ever being in that city. But now we're in Tallahassee, we got everybody behind us. So it's really going to be less on me than it was at Pitt because our team is really going to be excited and we just going to be ready to go out there and play in front of our home fans.
2 more questions here, guys.
You talked a little bit about poise and why that's natural, what a quarterback has to have. When did you figure that out? Is that something that just happened naturally for you when you started playing quarterback, or how did you learn that lesson?
Well, over the camps and all the things that I've experienced in my days, you have to learn that because when you see the people that are above you and you being a kid, you're just observing these things. You're just like, man, that guy's cool and he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league, like Tom Brady. People know Tom Brady as being a funny guy off the field. In front of reporters, he's quiet. But if you ask his teammates, this guy, he's the goofball of his team. Aaron Rodgers, if you ask Aaron Rodgers, he's a goofball. But on the field, they locked in, they're focused, and they just have so many intangibles that young kids want to adapt to and grow to be into just like them.
You mentioned those two guys. Are those two your favorite quarterbacks? Who are the quarterbacks you enjoyed watching when you grew up? When you were growing up?
When I was growing up, I was a Vince Young fan. Mm-hmm. I was a Michael Vick fan. I was a Tom Brady fan. And I like Peyton Manning, but when I was little, I thought Peyton Manning was a little too good to be true. Just the way he did everything. But I always liked Tom Brady because he was so fluid, he was so smooth, and then he was the underdog. And I always looked at myself as being the underdog. Even if people held me to this certain type of status, I always thought I was the underdog because I knew if I was if I felt that I was the underdog, I knew that I would be able to persevere and just get better every day.
Right.